Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's Scottish Cup final starting 11 prediction time. We're here to look ahead to tomorrow's showpiece at Hampden. It's a 5:30 kick-off, and Celtic have the chance to complete an 8th domestic treble, which would be a world record, we hear. We come into this game off the back of a fantastic performance last weekend where we picked up the Scottish Premiership trophy, a 5-0 victory over Aberdeen. I thought we were brilliant on the day, back to what looked like our usual selves after a few wobbles after having wrapped up the league title. I thought we played some really good stuff last weekend. We seen Iwata coming back in at centre half. Not too much defending to do throughout the game, but I thought the zip and intensity was back in our attacking play. And I think if we can replicate that tomorrow on that big Hampden pitch, I seen a video today, the surface looks impeccable. I'd back us to go and get a few goals and bring home the Scottish Cup to complete the treble tomorrow. Obviously, we discussed yesterday in the preview with Chris. If you missed it, I'll link it up here and at the end of the video. You can go and watch it. That's where we discuss the wider context around the game, everything that's going on off the pitch just now. But tonight, we're only here to talk about the starting lineup and look ahead to what can hopefully be a brilliant day for Celtic tomorrow. Let's just go and enjoy tomorrow. Hopefully watch Celtic complete another domestic treble and enjoy an evening celebrating. That's what I want to do. Let's hope we can just get through it without too much discussion about the elephant in the room. There's too much of that online, too much of it on social media. Let's just go and enjoy the showpiece tomorrow and hope that Celtic put on a brilliant performance. So we'll get straight into it with the team, and we'll start in goals with Joe Hart, as we always do. At right back, Alistair Johnston did start last weekend, returned from injury, but then he did go off in the second half with a knock. And said yesterday he's trained all week though. That bodes well for us. I think he will start at right back. That's a big boost for us. I think Iwata will keep his place. I think that was Ange showing his hand in terms of who he wants to play at centre half last weekend by putting Iwata back in at centre half. Starfelt will play alongside him, who got a rare goal last weekend. He absolutely loved it. Deserved it as well because he's been so consistent throughout the season. We've talked about it a lot on the content. Callum's talked a lot about it all season, about how underappreciated Starfelt might be, but he's been brilliant. Great to see him get a goal last weekend. Greg Taylor will complete the back four. I think the midfield picks itself with Aaron Moy not in contention for this game because he's still injured. It's McGregor, Hatate and O'Reilly. Again, I thought the three of them were good last weekend as well. And if they can find space on that big pitch at Hampden, they can really hurt Inverness. You think about Hatate and O'Reilly picking up those pockets of space in the sort of central wide positions and feeding the ball out to the wingers. And that brings me on to the wingers. I think Jota will play from the right-hand side. Dyson made us suspended last weekend. I think he will come back in and start this game. And I suppose there's a big question mark through the middle because Kyogo did also go off injured a couple of minutes into the second half against Aberdeen last week. He hadn't trained with the group all week. I don't think it's really clear if he trained with the group today or not, but I think he's going to play. He's played on one leg in a cup final before for Celtic and was a match winner and scored 2 goals, and you wouldn't back against him doing so tomorrow. I'm not sure what it was. I think it might have been an ankle knock or something that he took last week. It was hard to tell, but I think whatever it is, he'll strap it up and he'll go and play. Ange talks all the time about how much he wants to play, and that Hibs Cup final is the best example of that. I know he did get a nasty injury off the back of that a week later at St Johnstone last season with that hamstring injury, but this is the end of the season, and I think if he's 50-50 he will want to play, and I think Ange will put him in provided there's no risk of real long-term injury there. He's on 33 goals for the season, and you would back him to add to that tally if he does start through the middle tomorrow. That is the strongest team that we can put out. That's the team I expect Ange to pick. It's the final game of the season. We've talked in the content throughout this season, and Kenny's mentioned it a few times, that the levels this team have played at are deserving of treble winners, but we've got to go and earn that tomorrow. We've got to go and perform. We've got to go and take the game away from Inverness and play to our level, make it really difficult for them. You'd expect them to try and soak up the pressure, stay in the game the first 15-20 minutes, but if we can get a fast start and an early goal, we can make it a really long afternoon for them. And in the sun at Hampden, what better way would there be to finish the season than to watch Celtic putting on the style and lifting another trophy to complete a treble. That's it for the starting 11 prediction. Like this video, comment with your own thoughts on the team below. Who do you think will start? And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you tomorrow for the final full-time coverage of the season outside Hampden Park, wherever you're watching the game around the world. Enjoy it. See you tomorrow. Cheers.